name's Caroline. I'm one of the Women's Health Obstetric Physios, and normally myself and my colleague Jackie would do a 2 to 3 hour preparation for labour course, which would involve a tour of the labour wards and a practical session with beanbags and the ball. But due to the current situation, we've decided to do a concise version of the preparation for labour course and to base it inside one of the labour wards. So there is attached a link to a virtual tour of the labour wards to the video and the leaflets that we would normally give out for preparation for labour. So they are downloadable and you can print them off, or alternatively you can ring our number, which is to ring switch first 01642 850 850 and ask for extension 53741, and we can send you a labour pack of leaflets as well. So I'm going to start with looking at the anatomy of the pelvis. Because there's many hormonal changes that change the pelvis and get us ready for labour. I have done an extended version of this in another video clip called the Back and Pelvis Advice Session. So if you do look out for that clip and watch that first, that might help you understand this next bit. So this is the pelvis. You've got your big pelvic bones around the side, and at the front is your pubic bones, and in the middle is this cartilage. This cartilage is normally 4 millimeters wide before you're pregnant, and the joint has ligaments surrounding the joint at the front and just keeps the joint nice and strong. However, these ligaments are a bit like a thick, strong elastic band, and that softens with your pregnancy hormones, so you're not quite as strong at the front of the pelvis whilst you're pregnant and your body's getting you ready for labour. So you do need to be careful with your pubic bones at the front, and particularly with what you're doing with your legs. So these last few weeks of labour, be careful you're not doing big wide movements in and out the car, you're not standing on one leg, shaving in the shower and kicking something out the way. So really do look after your pelvis and your pubic bones. So the golden rule would be to sit a little bit more ladylike and bring your legs together, getting in and out the car. If we then look at the back of the pelvis, where the spine comes down, joins your sacrum with your coccyx, is where your dimples are at the back. So the dimples at the back there. The sacrum does gently rock up and down, side to side, and that's part of normal movement. But again, there's big elastic bands on the left, big elastic bands on the right, keep you nice and stable at the base of your back. But again, while you're pregnant, everything softens with your hormones, so you have slightly more movement at the back, and you're carrying a bump. So there's a lot of stress and strain in that lower back area. So again, really look after your back these last few weeks of pregnancy, not to be doing heavy housework, hoovering, mopping, sweeping, ironing. So just gentle, light duties, pot, have a little bit of a walk and a bit of a rest. So just look after your pelvis while you're pregnant. So due to these changes in hormones, please be mindful of your posture and your back and your pelvis. So regularly just move and stretch your back both ways, have a little rest, sit down, really watch that it's a good decent seat that you sit on, you have a cushion behind your back, you regularly move and stretch and stand up and change position. So the best tool that we'd recommend is the ball, or the birthing ball. So we'd recommend this for both pregnancy and for labour. So if you're going to buy one, they should be in most of the shops, so the only thing to look out for is the size. So look out for the 65 centimetre ball and make sure that it says anti-burst on the box and that you have the right pump, and get someone else in your family to blow it up. So when you get the ball ready and blown up, you can sit on it, sit comfortably in the middle, not too hard, make sure you're level, and the key features that you're looking out for is to make sure that your knees and hips are level and your knees and shoulders are roughly level. So we don't want you to sit too wide, so just comfortable, but that you can glide with the rhythm of the ball, so your back and pelvis are just moving gently forward, back, side to side. So this is just getting some movement in your joints and just stretching your back out. So this is really helpful during pregnancy and will also be a really helpful tool during labour. As labour approaches, you may experience some early signs as your body's preparing you for labour. You may experience some loose stools as the baby engages deep into the pelvis and puts pressure on your bowels. It's also due to just your high hormone levels. You may also notice you have a show, which is really a mucus plug that is coming away. It's thickish, whitish, might have some spots of blood, but it's not necessary to phone the hospital, it's just really a note to self. But as long as it's not a fresh bleed or a greenish colour, then you do need to phone the hospital. Otherwise you may break your waters or have some leakage of waters. This should be clear, odourless, and then please phone the advice line for that. Otherwise you may experience labour to begin with just some discomforts low down, a bit like your period pain or in your lower back. In the early stages of labour, the best place to be is at home. To stay calm, have a relaxing atmosphere, play soothing music, dim the lights. You could run yourself a warm bath as long as it's not too hot, maximum of 37 degrees. You could also take some paracetamol, but please note the dosage and write it down. And you could progress to cocodamol, but as I said, as long as you note the paracetamol content and write everything down. Other alternative forms of pain relief would be a heat pack. You can just pop this wheat bag in the micro for just 1 minute, and you could put that on your back and just soothe your muscles with some massage. Another form you could use is the deep freeze gel. Again, gives you great relief on your muscles in your lower back. Or some massage oil and aromatherapy. So your birthing partner can just help get you in a nice position and massage and relax your muscles. Another form of pain relief is the TENS machine that you could hire from this hospital. So please watch the attached link on how to use the TENS machine in labour, and there's the forms to download and to hire that. When you're experiencing your pains or discomfort, or we call it contractions, it is advisable to time the length of time you're experiencing the discomfort, and then also time the gap between them when you're not experiencing pain. You'll start to notice that the contractions are getting longer and stronger, and the time between them is getting shorter and shorter. During this first stage of labour, it's important to stay calm and do relaxed breathing. Don't hold your breath. Take nice, slow, deep breaths in through the nose, expand your rib cage, and out through the mouth. You can potter about, walk about, listen to music, but stay nice and relaxed and positive. If you're high dependency, please do what's been advised by your midwife or your consultant as to when to come in. If you're low dependency, try and get as far as you can with the contractions being about 5 minutes apart, then phone the advice line and see what's advisable when you need to come into hospital. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Jackie, who's going to give you some ideas of positions to help ease your discomforts when you're at home, and how to adapt those positions when you come into hospital.
There are 3 principles to remember when choosing what position to be in during labour. Firstly, it's a good idea to be upright. Secondly, choosing a forward-leaning position. And thirdly, just keep changing your position so that you're moving regularly. All these things can help to get the baby in an optimum position, ready for delivery, and also help to minimise the strain on your own body, as Caroline's already pointed out. Looking at the diagram, if you're in an upright position, you're using the maximum effect of gravity to assist the muscles of the uterus as they have a squeezing effect on the baby during labour and as they contract. This allows the widening of the cervix, which is the opening of the uterus. If you're in a reclined position and you're on your back, then it just means that gravity is not assisting this as well. Also, if you're flat on your back, then it means that the joints at the back of your pelvis aren't able to move as well. If you're in an upright position, then all 3 joints of your pelvis can widen, and that allows more of a natural widening of your pelvic bones. Just try and remember the principles of staying upright and slightly forwards. Now we have the Fit for Birth leaflet, which there is a link to in this section, and that shows you lots of different positions that you can try. So have a look at that and try those different positions. But here are a few positions that you can try at home in your labour. Kneeling on the floor and resting your upper body on the sofa. kneeling on the sofa and resting over the arm on pillows or cushions, and sitting the wrong way round on a dining chair, supported by pillows. It's also a good position to watch the TV in as a good distraction. When you come into hospital, it's important that you and your birthing partner settle into your labour room and make it as homely and comfortable as possible. Feel free to dim the lights, use battery candles and play soothing music. If you look around your room when you come in and just have a look at the equipment that's there for you to be able to help you to get into good positions during your labour. If you look for a ball, a beanbag, a birthing stool, and you notice that there isn't one in your room, then just ask the midwife and they'll bring you the equipment that you would like. As Caroline's already mentioned, the use of a gym ball in labour can be really useful, as well as throughout your pregnancy and in general. Obviously, if you have a ball at home, then you can start using your ball from earlier on in your labour. But using it in hospital, just a few different examples of positions that you can be in. So sitting on the gym ball, you're nice and upright, you're well supported, but just with very little effort, you can just be rocking gently backwards and forwards, or from side to side, or just round and round in a circle one way and then the other. Other positions that you can use with the ball are kneeling over the ball and just rocking backwards and forwards. Alternatively, you can put the ball onto the bed and just rest over that and either rock backwards and forwards or from side to side, or just rest still. Use of the beanbag too, on the bed, just so that you can lean over the beanbag and just rest in that position, but you're still forward leaning. Another alternative using the same principles are to be sitting on the ball and relaxing onto the bed with the beanbag. And you can use the same principle using the birthing stool and leaning over in the same way. Okay, so we've just moved room to show you a different piece of equipment. This is called the cube, and it just looks like a giant jigsaw puzzle. But it's just to show you different bits of equipment that you can use. You can actually lift this piece out here. It's made of lovely memory foam material and it's softer than it looks. And it just means that you can use it in a variety of ways to get into a comfortable position and use it however you want. You can actually look online if you just put in the cube and then you can look at the various ways that you could actually use it. And so it's just to remember that your position, along with moving regularly and relaxed breathing, can help you to cope with your contractions during labour.
Okay, thanks Jackie for those great tips of positions of how to labour at home and also within the hospital. So the first stage of labour is when your body's preparing itself and your cervix is dilating to 10 centimetres, and then you're getting ready for the second stage, which is pushing baby out. But as the body switches from stage 1 to stage 2, it goes through something called transition. Now in transition you might feel slightly irritable and as baby's pushing down and feeling the depth on your pelvic floor, you might feel a stretching sensation or a pressure on your bowels, and you might feel as if you have the urge to loosen your bowels. At this point, please call a midwife. There's a midwife call so she can come into the room and just check if you're in transition or if your body is fully dilated and getting ready to push baby out into second stage. But the midwife will stay with you and help you through that stage. During the second stage of labour, the pushing stage, the midwife will stay with you, she'll help you get comfortable, but it's also important if you can try and let gravity help you, so try and be upright and forward. That's going to help the baby come down and work with you as well. So during your contractions, as the uterus is working with you, try and stay calm, try and take nice, deep, slow breaths. But actually the most important part of your breathing is your breath out. So nice, slow breathing as you breathe out, and then work with your uterus, and your midwife will guide you through to help you push baby out. So once your baby's been delivered, the third and final stage is to deliver the placenta. So your midwife will wait for all the nutrients to come across to baby, and it stops pulsating, and then clamp the cord. So the placenta can be delivered either naturally or you can be given an injection to speed up the clotting. Please talk to your midwife about this and make sure this is documented in your notes. But the placenta is soft and quite easily delivered, so don't worry about that. Then the best part is you have skin to skin with your newborn baby and get to cuddle baby. So skin to skin is so important, such an important part of bonding and releasing the right hormones, and baby can feel your heart rate and your temperature, and it's just the best part of giving birth. So I hope this has been helpful to you, giving you some useful tips. Please talk with your midwife, please download the leaflets and have a good read. But above all, stay positive, you can do this, and take care.